We have had very good discussions with the President and his delegation. First, on one-on-one, we discussed a number of issues, but also discussed a variety of issues when we were with our delegations, which relates to the bilateral relations, in the main economic relations. This is one of our leading countries in terms of trade with South Africa, and we are happy with it. But we all agreed we could take them to another level because there's a lot that we need to do between the two countries. There are a lot of opportunities between the two countries, and we agreed to this. And that's why we have elevated the BNC so that we can look at it at a presidential level. We have a lot of agreement, about 60 agreements that we have signed, and we think we could even up those because they are almost like our natural kind of neighbor in terms of how we've been relating historically. The discussions were good and very fruitful. We also looked at other issues that relates to the region as well as the continent and some of the global issues. Exchange views on those issues. We are both democratic countries. We both believe in them, and we both feel that all of us who are part of democratic countries should observe and adhere to democratic principles and values. And of course, yesterday, we're also able to place the wreath in the Heroes Square, which is always an emotional place when you go to. Of course, this morning we met the Speaker, had a discussion in the delegation, which was composed of all political parties that are represented in Parliament. One of the issues we discussed today in some details, which we had raised with the President yesterday, was the issue of the attacks that have taken place in South Africa of the foreign nationals. We, of course, expressed our displeasure about it and that we condemned it as a country, but that we, of course, we were conveying through the President our condolences to those who died in the process. I think the impression given is that South Africans are xenophobic. We think it's not true. If there are people, they would be in the minority. So it's important to make this point because at times people, in a sense, exaggerate certain things. And we also went through with Parliament that in the 3 attacks that have been there, what we found had happened, so that they are clear. There were no people who sat and say, look, we hate these foreign nationals, let us attack them. So I gave a detailed report with the parliamentarians. I think it was important to do so, and of course, discuss the politics as well. Very important to know that any country will want to live peacefully with a neighbor. And because whatever, even if you say I'm a sovereign state, etc., but if you are not handling your citizens very well, they will impact to the neighbor. Because if there are problems, they'll run to the neighbor. And therefore we're saying here, we're taking advantage that there were 3 main parties, Frelimo, Dlakama's party, and MDM. And of course we said we are concerned at some point because at times we don't understand how Dlakama's party thinks. And we don't want to go back to problems. And offered that we could help. This country helped us to defeat apartheid. We could help also to talk to all of them, including Dlakama. We should be working together. That it was in that spirit that we're saying, if need be, I actually sent the Dlakama representative to tell him that if he thinks we need to talk, I'm ready to talk because we need to use Parliament to make people feel comfortable, but also feel that their country is striving for peace and prosperity. So it was a very good discussion that we had, and we are very happy. I think the visit has been absolutely wonderful. At the economic level, we discussed some of the things that relate to energy. As you know, Mozambique has just discovered a number of resources, minerals here, and there are the challenges that are facing South Africa, and we charged the ministers of energy to meet and discuss to see what is that we can do, taking advantage of the two countries. How could we coordinate our activities economically in those kind of areas? So I'm very happy, and I think the visit was worth taking. I have invited President Nyusi to pay a state visit in South Africa. I think it would be absolutely important, even if you take into account what I'm just describing as perceptions about the relations insofar as people to people. So he has accepted this. We are going to be working on it, and I'm happy and I'm satisfied.